I am the epitome of the black sheep of my family.
Yeah.
My dad was a deacon, raised in church, turned his life around because of Jesus. My mom, Sunday school teacher, VBS director, whatever. My sister sings in the choir, is a youth pastor. My brother was a minister. I am bisexual. I have my nose pierced. Okay, anyway. And like religious trauma is the reason that I'm sad most of the time. I call it Protestant guilt.
I love that.
My dad was on drugs. And then he decided to find Jesus, but then he was on drugs again. And then he found Jesus. It was really a back and forth. But, you know, I had some interesting conversations with my dad over the years. Including, but not limited to, hey, I know you're in 8th grade, but promise me, pinky swear over the phone, even though I haven't seen you in 3 years, that you're not going to lose your virginity until you get married. Okay, Dad, I promise. Flash forward a week later, we went to my dad's house, and he finds a condom in my brother's wallet and congratulates him on it. So, you know, that's on double standards in my childhood.
Dude. My dad used to give me and my sister a gift every year, and it was usually necklaces. And when I was 16, I guess, he got me a purity ring. It was like, you were special. Keep your flower. I was like, all right, Dad. So my dad's virginity, my virginity belonged to my dad, which was really funny because when he gave me this, I had sex with the woman like 2 weeks before he gave it to me. My sister had sex before marriage, and she told my mom, and she was called a whore. My brother had to call my dad on his wedding night because he didn't know what to do because we were taught abstinence. I still have the purity ring. I don't wear it. I feel bad. Not really. Abstinence is a stupid subject. I think it's dumb.
Abstinence. Yeah, so my mom is very open about everything. So, you know, she didn't really care. But my dad was always the one that was like, you suck if you do anything sexual as a child.
Like your dad.
Yeah. It worked because it has alligator teeth like my dad. Yeah, I guess mine really goes with abstinence. My previous story, I don't really have any more stories about abstinence. You know, my mom was never religious, so I never really had, like, the purity issues with, like, your flower is sacred, or you're a piece of gum, or any other object, which is, like, a whole thing that, like, I personally don't have any, like, religious trauma as far as, like, oh, I went through this and I experienced this, but I know so many people, and I've heard so many testimonies and so many people talk about just the fact that people are like, hey, you're a piece of gum, and once one boy chews you, you're disgusting. It's like, no, bitch, I'm a human being. So, like, whatever. And, you know, it's just, people suck. That's really where I'm going with that. Oh, yeah, my dad, he was married to this woman, and she's literally crazy. She told me whenever I was like 12 or 13 that if I dated outside of my race, that was against our religion and that I was going to hell. So I was like, oh, that's great, lady. I haven't really talked to her since then. I also don't like her for obvious reasons.
So my sister went to Tusculum, and my sister started dating this guy. He was African American. So my dad used the Bible verse where it talks about being unequally yoked. Like, Ashley, you cannot date this black man because you're unequally yoked because of the color of his skin. And I remember my friend waking me up and be like, yo, I think your sister just got kicked out. And I was like, what? And then my sister coming in like 20 years old. I'm like 13. She's like, hey, if I never see you again, it's because I'm going to Atlanta with George because I love him. And mom and dad do not like it. So if I don't hear from you again, you can message me on Facebook without them knowing, and then connect back with me at 18. And the entire time that she was gone, and when she got back, like, the majority of her stuff was, like, almost in boxes. Like, my mom had totes in there. Because, you know, they're unequally yoked. Which that is not what it's talking about when it says that. When it's talking about unequally yoked, it means, like, a believer and a non-believer. Also, we're not eggs, so. Back to, like, the Protestant guilt thing. Like, really, for a long time, anything that I did that was, like, remotely wrong, I was like, oh, Jesus wouldn't like that. Oh, Jesus wouldn't like that. Oh, Jesus really would not like this. And, my dad passed away, and, like, 3 days later, I got my nose pierced. And I got it pierced, like, with an 18 gauge hoop. So it was, like, pretty big. Go big or go home, I guess. And I went to church that next Sunday, and this dude came up to me and was like, wow, that's really trashy. My daughter would never do that. And then, like, the ladies at church were like, whoa, be careful, you're going to get stuck in that door frame. Be careful or a boy's going to tug on that. Because they said it made me easy. I was called a whore. Like, someone told my mom that I looked like a whore, and she couldn't believe that she let her daughter do that. Alright. Probably one of my favorite topics to, like, get Christians mad about is when I talk about mental health, right? This year has been a lot for me mentally. I got a diagnosis that I didn't like and everything. And even before that, I knew something was wrong. But, like, my mom, like, refused to, like, take me to see someone. Because she was like, oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Just pray about it. Just pray about it. Okay. Prayer does help in some cases. But I can't pray the bipolar way. I can't pray the gay way. I can't pray the sadness way. I can't pray the anxiety way. I can't pray the like, plus sizeness away. You can't pray that shit away. This is, like, recently. I was telling my mom that I got diagnosed as, like, bipolar 1. And she was like, well, did you pray about it? I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, did you pray about it? She was like, if you pray about it, you'll get better. And because, like, I have been there and been like, God, just, like, take me off this earth. I'm tired of living, and I don't even know if you exist right now. But I am so broken, and I'm so tired of crying that I don't want to live anymore. Or if I'm manic, I'm like, wow, God, give me wings. I've not gotten wings, but I have also not jumped off of anything because I don't know if he exists. And, everywhere you go is, like, grounded in Christianity because, like, here there's no representation of any other religion. And it's crazy. It's unfair. Like, I try to pray the gay way just like I try to pray the bipolar way, and it didn't work. I'm still bipolar, and I'm still gay. Women are pretty. Like, I recently got a relationship with, like, a Christian conservative man who literally, like, prayed over me about my sexuality, told me it was just a phase, and, like, completely dismissed me. And the only people I'm out to, like, in my family are my siblings because I don't feel, like, safe about it. They're not going to look at me the same. They're not going to love me the same. And that is something that, like, breaks my heart.